Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Tuesday, 30th of August 2022. Today's Millwall news, as expected, we went to Burnley and we lost at Burnley. We lost 2-0, but the performance wasn't actually that bad. There were moments that were good, there were moments that were bad, but generally overall, we didn't really get beaten like a drum, but we did lose against a better team. Millwall were defeated 2-0 by Burnley in the Sky Bet Championship on Tuesday night. This is the match report from millwallfc.co.uk. Goals from Vitinho and J. Rodriguez handed the Clarets all 3 points at Turf Moor. Gary Rowett made 3 changes in the starting 11, which took to the field on Saturday as Charlie Cresswell, Zion Fleming and Andreas Vogelsama. The latter two for their first line starts came into the lineup in place of Scott Malone, George Honeyman and Bennett Bobby, who all dropped to the bench. Yes, Murray Wallace played out on the left, and Zion Fleming was pretty decent. Pretty decent, and you've got to say that's against one of the better teams in the league. So if he starts against Cardiff, hopefully he can turn it on and show them up. Millwall were the ones to force the first corner kick of the game with just 3 minutes on the clock, but after Vogelsama's work down the left-hand side created the set piece, Jay Cooper's header at goal was blocked before being cleared to safety. At the other end, the Clarets' first opportunity of the evening came from the boot of Johan Berg Gudmundsson, but the attackers shot fish just wide of the near post. Bartosz Białkowski then had to palm away Nathan Teller's shot in the 12th minute before Fleming's goal-bound free kick had to be batted to safety by the dive of Arjanet Muric. Yes, we actually had a shot on target. Fleming's free kick. There were 18 minutes on the clock when Muric's long kick was plucked expertly out of the sky by Teller, with Cresswell concealing a foul moments later. Gudmundsson's vicious free kick had to be beaten away by Białkowski before the Lions managed to scramble the ball away from danger. Cresswell's clipped pass was nodded on by Cooper at the midway point of the half and left Muric stranded, but Burnley were able to clear play from under the nose of the awaiting Vogelsama. The Lions had to soak up and contain pressure from the Clarets as the first half wound to a close, but they did so successfully and went in goalless at the break. So pretty much like the Norwich game, goalless at the break. Not bad. Murray Wallace's lung-busting run down the left-hand side looks to set the Lions up in the opening minutes of the second half, but the left-back found his cross cleared before J. Rodriguez was able to strike on goal at the other end but found the side netting. George Saville was then able to steal the ball off the toes of Teller as the Burnley man looked to benefit from a fortunate deflection with 51 minutes played. Whilst moments later Tom Bradshaw's through ball set Fleming away, he however was denied by the onrushing Muric. Josh Brownhill struck tamely at Białkowski as the Clarets continued to probe before a chance fell at the feet of Fleming as he cut inside after taking Vogelsama's crossfield pass. In his path, he struck was tipped wide by Muric before Cresswell's poke goal, and the resulting corner clipped the post before going wide. Białkowski was hand to save an attempt from Teller as the chances began to happen more frequently at both ends. Fleming once again broke through the defensive line, this time just before the hour mark, but his pass to Bradshaw was behind his run and the attack came to an end. Fleming then blazed over with 61 minutes on the clock from just outside the penalty area. Just a minute later, though, Burnley were able to nudge themselves into the lead as Vitinho was well placed at the back post to head home. The Clarets had the ball in the net once again 5 minutes later, but Teller was denied by the assistant referee's flag. Shortly after that, the home side were forced into a change of goalkeeper as Muric had to go off injured. Bailey Peacock Farrell, his replacement, and on 72 minutes the lead was doubled as Rodriguez was able to prod home from yards out after Białkowski saved a shot. Honeyman, Tyler Burry and Nafobi were introduced into the action after that, with a scissor kick from Fleming going wide as the Lions looked to reduce the arrears. There could have been a goal for Millwall with 6 minutes to play, but Afobe couldn't have reached Cooper's knockdown inside the 6-yard box. I believe the goalkeeper got a touch on it. If you look it back, if you replay it slowly, you'll see I think the goalkeeper did touch it or away from him. But how's your luck? How is your luck? A lot of deflections today just weren't going our way. Burnley substitute Manuel Benson then found an effort deflected wide as the clock began to wind down, and Biakowski had to get down low to grasp an attempt from the impressive Teller as the Clarets looked to further extend their advantage. Billy Mitchell on as a double change with Scott Malone for James Shackleton and Murray Wallace later on, fired over and then saw a shot tipped behind by Peacock Farrell in the last act of the game as the Lions slipped to a loss. And the team was as follows: Biakowski, Murray Wallace, Cooper, Hutchinson, Saville, Cresswell, Shackleton, McNamara, Vogelsummer, Fleming, Bradshaw. Unused substitutes were Long and Evans, and the used substitutes were Malone on 82 minutes for Murray Wallace, Honeyman on 73 minutes for Cresswell, Mitchell on 83 minutes for Shackleton, Bury for 73 minutes for Vogelsummer, Afobe on the 74th minute for Bradshaw. Yeah, we played a lot better. I think we had 5 shots on target, so we did play a lot better. But that's expected. Biakowski made some very, very good saves. It's what we expected, wasn't it? If you look back at the fixtures, when the fixtures come out at the start of the season, I said this month would be a real test because there's some tough games here. Swansea away, Norwich away, Burnley away, Sheffield United away. Those games have gone how we expected them to go, except for the Swansea game, because we did get luckily get a 2-2 draw out of that. But we lost all the other away games, which goes to the form that we had last season. Dog shit away form. The one standout result that we didn't go how it probably should have went was the Reading home game. Based on form and how us versus them, that should have been a home win. But it wasn't. So that's the one standout. And that's probably left us 3 points adrift of where we probably needed to be. But all the other results went the way that you would expect them to go. And it just says we are who we are. We are who we thought we are. We haven't improved. Hopefully we haven't got that much worse. But it can seem like that at times. Now we go into September, and the game's coming up before we go into the November break. So, what games are we playing? We've got Cardiff at home, Sunderland away. They got a new manager. That might be an away game that we could be winning. That they're newly promoted, though they have been spending a lot of money. We got home game against QPR. Now again, like the Reading game, Reading's away form was dog shit this season so far, but they had to long trips up north. So then they have a short trip to Millwall, and they end up beating us. Is that going to be the same for QPR? QPR won heavily against Hull City today, so we got to play them in a couple of weeks, the midweek game. Then in September, after that, we've got home games. So we've got 2 home games in a row, which if we get decent results out of that could propel us up the league. We get 2 wins out of that, 6 points from 2 games will certainly boost us up the league. And then there's an international break before we come back on 1st of October. So we have only 4 games in September. And realistically, to be honest, we should be looking at 7 to 9 points. We've been with the 3 home games and 1 away. This is a big month for us, this September. But we can't be having games like the Reading game where we have a lot of shots and only have one shot on target. They have 5 shots, 1 on target. They end up winning 1-0. Can't be having that. But yeah, the Burnley game, Burnley away. The result was what we expected it to be. I predicted that we would lose 3-1, 2-goal margin. We did lose by a 2-goal margin. We lost 2-0. The refereeing, I don't think he got the memo at the start of the season about contact. So we get messed up by in other earlier games with that contact. The Norwich game, the players were moaning about contact, and in this game, the referee doesn't let any contact go. He's blowing up for everything, and all little dives that Burnley are doing. But yeah, it's what we thought it was. It was a lot better going forward. It took them until the 62nd minute before they broke us down and scored, which was they went down their right hand side, took on Murray Wallace, put a cross into the 6-yard box, and boom, there you go. That's what you got to do. But Zion Fleming was pretty decent. Hopefully there's better to come from him because pretty good today. So if he can do better than that, that would be fantastic. He'll be absolutely unplayable. So yeah. So let's get into the manager's comments. This is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. I've got to find the solutions. Millwall boss were out disappointed by manner of Burnley defeat. Gary Rowett admitted he was really disappointed after Millwall's 2-0 defeat at Burnley on Tuesday night. The Lions made the trip to Lancashire off the back of a 1-0 loss against Reading at the weekend and were unable to bounce back against Vincent Kompany's side, who sealed the points courtesy of second half strikes from Coutinho and J. Rodriguez. Rowett admitted that he was disappointed at the goals his side gave away at Turf Moor. Rowett said, "Really disappointed. We actually held our shape tactically in the first half. Our front three made it very, very difficult for them to play through us. They've got good quality, they move the ball around and they sort of keep looking for those openings. We had some moments in the first half when we actually showed some composure. We got down the side of them and we got into our forwards. Boggy and Flem looked really, really bright and dangerous. When we got into those areas, we can get into those areas a lot more. We need to show a bit more quality and belief to give those front three the ball a little bit more often." We then get in half time 0-0 when we've had a couple of moments ourselves and defended well. Then at the start of the second half, we have a 10-minute spell where we actually just started to really come into the game. We got into some excellent positions and had a few shots on target. I think we have one moment where we break and Zion has a chance to put Bradders in with a keeper and just hits it behind him. And then there are moments away from home where if you can take the opportunity and go 1-0, then it's a very different game. Then they virtually go down the other end and score a goal where we've got defensive shape. The ball comes into the box. I think Rodriguez gets across, and I'm not sure if he gets a touch. If he does, the land's definitely offside. If he doesn't, then we have to defend it. There's no way that a player can react quicker than 2 of our defenders on the back post, and we switch off. It's those little moments in the last 3 or 4 games that are really costing us. The difficulty then is the second goal. We parry it out, and Rodriguez reacts quicker than our defenders. So there's 2 moments there where you've got to come here and be defensively perfect to stop them scoring. That was disappointing. We had some moments where again we can at least get 1 goal and make it interesting at the end. Disappointed, a lot of hard work, but again nothing to show for it. Burnley's second goal came just as the Lions were about to make a triple change. Tyler Berry, George Honeyman and Ben Kobe introduced shortly after Rodriguez sealed the points for the hosts. Rowett added, "There's always a chance of 1-0 down, but what you can't do again was just to make 3 substitutions to bring a little bit of speed and attacking quality off the bench, and we concede just before it. Again, you can understand the disappointing nature of when and how we concede some of those goals. We've had 3 years of being really, really defensively solid as a team, not just the defenders, but as a team. This season, we haven't done that. We've conceded too many goals. I've got to find those solutions as the manager. I'm disappointed. At the start of the season, my ambitions were top 6. At the moment, we haven't matched that on the pitch, and I've got to look at what I'm doing as well." Indeed, indeed. And a lot of people saying it's the midfield. When you realistically only play 2 in midfield, the midfield gets overrun. So should we be playing 4-3-3? Or 4-5-1 or 5-4-1? but then you're gonna have pacey people in the midfield who can support the attacker, or you all go up and attack as a team, and you try and work your way up the pitch as you go, rather than hit it long and then run up. You've got to do something. I don't know, but like I said, so there's only 4 games next month, and then we got the international break last week of September, so we'll see how that goes. Might have to wait until after that until we see some results, but we do have a midweek game coming up this month. Let's hear from the Burnley boss for some reason. I don't know why. LondonNewsOnline.co.uk. This felt right. Burnley boss company on ending wait for Turf Moor win over 2-0 win over Millwall. After 2-0 win over Millwall. The Burnley manager, Vincent Kompany, had praise for all his players after they beat Millwall 2-0 to secure a first home victory of the season. It was also a maiden Turf Moor success for Kompany, who was appointed the Lancashire club's new boss in the summer. The Clarets moved up to second in the championship standings, with Millwall slipping to 19th. 19th. Coutinho, yeah, we know about that. Asked about ending the wait for a win at home, Kompany said, "It was a long time coming. We've put some good performances in at home. Not really got the reward for it." He's not Welsh, so I'm just trying to do a Dutch accent. This felt right. This felt like a good game. I can't really pick a player out. There's been so many good performances today. The lads have deserved a clean sheet. The back line were brave in how they were playing and how they squeeze up the pitch. We've always got numbers around the ball whenever there are knockdowns and second balls. It's something that's worked well for us again today. It's another full house, it's bouncing, and there's a bit of a special atmosphere to every game we play here. It's too early to even think about it, the league position, only 39 games left. Yeah, I don't know why he's Welsh, but to be honest, I thought the atmosphere at Burnley was absolutely dog shit. They were all sitting there stiff, not making any noise. It was very quiet. I don't know where they placed the microphone for the TV, but I would say the cameras at Burnley have a fucking premium. They are really good quality cameras that are high D. I watched it on the Match Pass on Millwall TV. So yeah, that was pretty good. But yeah, Burnley didn't make any noise at all. They really didn't. But that they were making noise at the end after they win. Really one of those teams that when they're winning, that they make noise. Until then, they just sit there with their arms crossed. So yeah, that was the tale of Burnley 2, Millwall 0. We move on. So this is from trainingground.guru. It's basically a website for jobs, background jobs in football, training ground jobs. I think just in football, maybe in other stuff as well. They post job adverts and they post job news. Like, so if you know who's moving, if this guy's leaving this job at this club, there's a job available there. So who wants to apply for it? That kind of thing. Because how do you know? How do you know if the job's available? If you don't know, this kind of website's trying to let you know. So it's not just inside people. No, oh, this geezer's left that job. I'm gonna try and get that job now. So yeah, Ben Dixon has joined Millwall background coaching staff. Who dat? Who dat? From English National Ballet to Millwall. Ben Dixon, I see him there on the right, not on the left, on the right, has left his role as lead strength and conditioning coach with the English National Ballet to become lead physical performance coach with Millwall. Dixon has worked with the National Ballet for the last 3 years, getting dancers into peak condition for one of the most physically demanding professions around. Prior to this, he was the head of performance of Taiwan's football team and head performance coach for Chinese Olympic rowing, meaning he has one of the most interesting and varied CVs in sports. He is also experienced in English football, though, having been a sports scientist at Watford for 9 years. Dixon will report into Mill's head of performance and health, Dave Carolan, and replaces Lawrence Bloom, who left his role as head of performance with the Lions after 6 years, joined Cambridge United earlier this summer. So yeah, it's taken us a couple of months to replace the position, but a decision has been made. Ben Dixon signs. Writing on Twitter, Dixon said, "After 3 years at the English National Ballet, I have left my position. I would like to thank everyone for an amazing performance and wish you all the best. Pleased to say I'm starting a new role as lead physical performance coach at Millwall. Looking forward to working with a great team of people." Carolan, who appeared on the first episode of the Training Ground Guru podcast with manager Gary Rowett, added, "Delighted to have Ben Dixon join the performance team at Millwall. Great experience across sport and will add fresh perspective and innovation into the department as we seek to continually evolve and improve." Well, hopefully he can figure out why everyone keeps getting fucking injured and sort that out, especially Mr. Mason Bennett and Ryan Leonard. And yeah, see if he can perform miracles with them. But I'm sure it's going to be a lot different than the English National Ballet. Now, moving on to our final story, which is a bit of a mystery. Not a murder mystery, but so this is a preview. Now, deja vu? Exactly, yes. So we are previewing Millwall under-21s versus Peterborough United under-21s. But didn't you do that yesterday? Yes, I did. And we are now doing it again. Millwall under-21s welcome Peterborough United in the Professional Development League on Wednesday afternoon, kick-off 1 p.m. The game was due to be played on Tuesday the 30th of August, but has been moved back 24 hours at the request of Peterborough United. Yeah. So what happened here is, come 12 o'clock, the hour before the game is supposed to kick off, checking the Twitter for the teams. Keep coming back because sometimes they don't do it straight away. Like, it's not really important. They don't. I think when they're at the training ground, they don't have the actual the printed team sheets. They just have the ones that they give to the referee. So, and they probably have to take a picture of that and then type it up for Twitter. So, probably take a while. So keep coming back over the next hour onto Mill's Twitter. Nothing there yet. Nothing there yet. Kickoff's coming up. Nothing there yet. Okay. Go to Peterborough United's Twitter. Nothing there yet. Nothing there yet. And neither club's mentioning their posting, but they're not mentioning the game that's about to happen that they're supposed to be live tweeting. Funny shit. So have a look on Ladbrokes. Is the game still happening, or are they taking odds? Is it kicked off? Well, as you can follow, you can bet on the game, and if you bet on the game, you can bet on the game and play, and it will. I think they must have someone there for clarity's purposes to stop funny business for the gambling. Maybe they pay the clubs to be there. I don't know what goes on. But you can bet and play on these games, and they have like a little graphics like the old when you would follow the game on CFAX or stuff, whatever. They would tell you like Millwall attacking, Millwall dangerous attack, Millwall corner, Millwall throw-in. Someone's just scored, goal, boom, and the price would change. So that's what I follow on Ladbrokes. I go on Ladbrokes, their game's not on. Go back on Ladbrokes after kickoff, betting suspended. It's still on there, but it's betting suspended. Well, what's happening? What's happening? Game postponed? What's happening? So then come back later, the game's disappeared, it's not on there. And then come back even later, this message pops up on this and on the match list, fixture list on the top left here where it says matches. The game's been moved to Wednesday. Funny one that. So no idea what the hell happened there. A number of things could have happened. Millwall could have been at a training ground waiting for Peterborough to show up, and they're not there yet. So they're like, okay. So maybe they called them up and said, Hey, where are you? What do you mean, where are we? You're supposed to be playing us today at 1 o'clock. No, tomorrow. No, today. Oh, fuck, shit, yeah. No, we booked a coach for tomorrow. Now, that could have happened. Or they could have been travelling down and got, coach broke down, something like that. And then just thought, well, let's turn back. Let's go back. Call them up saying postpone it. The coach has broken down. But it's not that much of a journey. What is it, like 60 miles? But yeah, weird one. What the hell happened here? But it's not a surprise because the clubs keep booking the two teams to play on the same day. So we had this when we played Swansea a couple of weeks ago. There was an under-21s game on the same day. And again, now, Millwall and Burnley games a day, under-21s game, same day. Why do they do that? I don't know. They got the rest of the days of the week to choose, but they put a game on the same day. I don't know why they do that. Not only that, but in terms of us, obviously, it's very unlikely that some of our players are going to be needed for the first team squad. So fair enough. But Peterborough United, they have a game today. They had a game against Stevenage in the Papa John's Trophy. So you would think maybe they may have needed somebody youth squad to be involved in that, because they've got league games where they probably don't want to. They've got league games Saturday, and they don't want to overstretch their first team squad, so they may bring in some of their under-21s to be on the bench at least for the Papa John's Trophy that they probably don't really care that much about. So that game's on the same day as today. So, but the fact that they postponed the game after kickoff, it wasn't done in advance. It was done after it was supposed to have kicked off. Very weird, but whatever. We go again Wednesday. Wednesday 1 p.m. kickoff, and we go again. And yeah, again back at the training ground. So I have to follow it on Twitter. But yeah, a weird one. Another weird one. Very weird. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.